buddies for our team. So thank Brent for choosing transportation to make a difference in children's lives.
All right, next up, have our community technicians with go for it.
Thank you, Madam President. This month, the district would like to recognize Dr. Curry and his wife and representatives from the Kind Tabernacle Ministries for their generous donation of turkey dinners for staff. Thank you so much for support to the Waynesville School District.
All right, now we'll move to our discussion items. First up, we have our 2024 fall sports report with Mr. Ace.
Thank you, Madam President. Tonight, as always, we'll talk about academics first. Then go over student athlete recognitions. We'll go over both all conference, all district, and all regional. We'll also discuss our conference standings, our conference standings. Exciting news, Portrait of Tiger, we're working currently, which is within our athletic department and our talks we've been doing. And then I have some shouts for specific teams that I like to acknowledge the names and what done. First and foremost, our fall GPAs. These are team GPAs. So you can see that all of our programs were over 0.0. This year, Missouri State High School Activities Association is doing what we call Distinguished, and Excellence Award will go towards teams, our GPAs. So all our teams made distinguished, which would be a 3.0 team PA, so we will submit that the fall. In addition to that, we had 3 teams that were over 3.5 benchmark, which will have that excellence honor as well. So, care definitely get it done in the classroom. All conference GAs, we're in a conference, really the standard the same, it's just a change in name. It is all conference first team, all conference second team for academics. So 0.75 GPA had over 80 student athletes that were able to reach that 0.75 higher. Then second team had 42 student athletes in the fall that were able to reach that. This is the overall breakdown per team. You can see how many each team has for his first team and second team for the academic standards. Student athlete recognitions. I don't want that. Now we're in the right. Apologize. We had 17 student athletes in the fall that were all conference honors, so CC conference, with 20 individuals that were all district, and we had 10 individuals that were all region or all section, just depending on the sport, what it's called. And most of those all region, all sectionals are vid and all district voted on by coaches in those conferences districts. Music awards, we had 19 district RB individuals. So these individuals that we recognized earlier tonight, and we'll specifically go over those individuals. So all William and Addison were here tonight and did a tremendous job representing Waynesville Choir. In addition to that, we had Ellen, Jay, and Seth who were on tonight for band, also recognition. We did have 2 student athletes that were named to an all region. We had Safe for soccer, and we had Glenn Lerter that was named for cross country. Again, these are coaches nominated, Coaches Association nominated award. In addition to that, we took 8 kids to state meet, which was awesome. We almost had an all-stater, very close, but the format of the swim was a little funky. If at wrestling, he would have still had a chance on day 2. Swim's a little different format. But all of those individuals did a great job representing our program. It was very exciting to go to the state meet and watch them all form. Conference standings, you can see per sport where we landed in the first year our conference standings. And so exciting stuff we got having on now at the school. This is something that I've talked about a bit, and we were able to incorporate it. So I do thank administration at the school for being able to do some of this and working with us along to do some of this. We are working with student athletes. I'm doing what is called Portrait of a Tiger. And what we did is been meeting with all teams and we've been discussing what it actually means to be a Tiger. And there are 4 corollary questions that we actually covered about Portrait of a Tiger. And those questions that were asked was character traits do you want to have as a Tiger? If you're a Tiger and an athlete. What story do you told with a puck about your team, about yourself? How do we look and sound? Not just when we're at school or when we're on the court or wrestling mat or the ball field. When we're at Walmart, what do we look like? What do we sound like? Then how we communicate that to individuals come in. So with the transition that we have, how we're going to continuously communicate the same things. I really think this week's consistency picture did not go up, but we were being, we meet in electrical high school and a picture of that. You can see the character trait, and this all comes from our student athletes that really hit on, and I did them for teams. We Google Doc and kind of brought it up, and they filled out form, but they talk about being respectful, really talk about being positive, like what type of positivity we have on a daily basis, and then that enjoy accountability is a very big piece that our students athlete we're talking about. Story they told, they want to be seen as resilient and hardworking. Were the two big points that are brought up. What do you look like? What do we sound like? Kind of was a big one. They talk about leadership and talk about confidence as far as what they want to see as overall. And how we'll communicate that. We talk about bullying, social media, obviously, and then holding each other accountable. So how to hold one another accountable. So just not a friend, but a kid that comes in from Texas or Hawaii or whatever. And this is going to allow us to continue to do some of what we call Tiger Talks during Tiger Time. Athletes that are in good academic standing have the ability to come down and meet with self and others as we go along. And we have topics that we're talking about. One of the ones we did an activity with slang words where we talked about respect, what meant to be respectful, how we show that, who we show it to. And it was a great activity. Have on average about 60 kids or 60 student athletes. And it's been twice a month that we've been doing this. We'll come down to the auditorium and we meet with them. We talked purpose, so find our purpose. So why do we play a sport? What are we doing with that sport? What is purpose for us as an individual? And last time that we talked about a success matrix. So how do we become more successful? What are the things that we did in order to become successful? Again, to hit on that care piece, I often hear about the negative report from media. So they're officials or they're that another team sending report. Soccer did get a couple of this issue talking about competitiveness, how their sportsmanship was great, and it was great to see that sportsmanship within the game, especially a high competitive game playing in our conference. In addition to that, we also got words from our softball team, just being respectful, picking up their trash, doing some things. Last one, some of the board members were at this game and probably witnessed some of this, but I did get a letter at the October, a gentleman from Nisho about a football game, and I'd just like to take the opportunity because this is really why we're here and why we do what we do. They're the positives that we look for. And I want to just give a shout out to our kids, our football team. I know we're put through a lot this year, and they continue to fight. They continue to represent themselves well. So I wanted to just read this gentleman that wrote this letter actually sent a $500 check to our teams and donation. It says, please accept donation to your football program as a token of my appreciation for the patriotic experience that I had your football team that in my hometown, earlier this fall. Regularly attend high school football games and have become increasingly disappointed when teams are not on the field when national anthem played. I was not disappointed, not as bullied and underlined. We brought your team to town. From my view from the Neosho home and stand, I witnessed your team standing at attention for national anthem outside of in the locker room while being played by the Neosho marching band. Your team's view of the flag was some block from the school buses that had been brought to our town. Your players sure find a space to be able to acknowledge and address our flag. I will not soon forget you in my mind of young men making time in the afternoon on a great flag and anthem and made a prior kick. Please let your youngsters know that they get an old gift from Nisho, a sense of pride and encouragement, and an experience once from in the high school grad 1982. So I thought that was tremendous. I think that team needed a shout out. That's it. Any questions?
Any questions for Ms. Reese? Okay, thank you very much for sharing that as well. Definitely so proud. Next up, we have 25 summer school proposal. Mrs. Long.
Mr. Hinton and I have attached the proposal for the 2020 summer school session first reading.
Any other questions from the board? Why do you get the strata talk? All right. Community Source Office date, Ms. Long.
Good evening. I pledge to highlight the last 2 years of work in community source office, and this compilation information was paired out of help from the director of the CRO with Tina Rowden. Currently, there's just a list of current community resource managed grants that we have. Still working, manage our AmeriCorps national grants, Army Youth Program in Your Neighborhood, known as APA, which is after school program for grades 6 to 12. DOIA Project Impart, new with us, 2-year STEM summer program, and also works with on the Missouri Department of Natural Resources grant. It's just a list of managed funds that run through currently grant funds that are running through the CRO. And a list of managed staff. And just a note here, those that have been around, we have been a host site for the AmeriCorps VISTA program, specifically since 2008. Last year, Missouri restructured their VISTA program. They basically centralized the operation of that into urban areas, which then they're no longer run by intermediate areas. We've been doing the VISTA program. That did our work. VISTA, we continue our work with AmeriCorps, and we're very fortunate to be able to have hard those VISTA projects have been developed over the years. So SNAP and PAD, we're able to write that out in our AmeriCorps grant to have some staff to continue manage that program and to convert. We've been working with AmeriCorps to convert some of positions were AmeriCorps into summer positions, split this up, which allows us to cover those summer, they used to be summer associates, which are two of the biggest impact our district as well from VITA. So we've been able to maintain those programs despite the decentralization or the centralization, taking it from local control of those grants. So that's just up there, and that's why that changes there in the VITA program. But very excited about the expansion of the AmeriCorps with that. And that number there for the year is absolutely on track. There are a few positions like we are saving them up for summer fill for summer positions that are really important to our district. Speaking of AmeriCorps, there's some impact numbers here for you to take a look at. We're very proud of members, and specifically, see on 97% of students that worked have demonstrated improved academic performance. So know those extra hands on deck working with students throughout the day and then after school in our Club Tiger setting as well is extremely beneficial for our students and our district. In fact, our program is recognized in their national newsletter, so this goes out. It comes from the Fed program in November. Did an article and write up on our program highlighting our support of our military population and Club Tiger program. So we're very proud of that recognition. Here are some numbers for volunteers. We are just extremely fortunate to have so many volunteers in our community that give of time to our schools and our programs. And you see we had some great numbers last year. We're on track to get some really good numbers this year, both in the amount of people volunteering and number of hours you can see that they give. We're just extremely grateful for everyone that gives that time and the office for organizing that system, puts them safe into our schools. There's enrollment. This is, there's some numbers for AmeriCorps programs of Assist Club Tiger. I see Freedom East, and those are some attendance numbers for them. And then again, APN funds our WIN program, which runs for 6th grade through 12. That runs Monday through Thursday after school and provide safe after-school activities for students within our building with our staff. To be a project impart, this is the third final year of Project Impart. I'm wrapping up the professional development, our D and math solution tree, focusing this year on ongoing systems integration of that professional development and that our teachers have gone through over the 2 years, and wrap it up this year, making sure that it's sustainable and it also fits well with our math resources. That's a real focus of us in the final year. At the very beginning, STEM Camp, it's to us. We're extremely excited to have chosen and selected as a STEM Camp host, and so we're going to be able to host that summer for grades 6 through 8. And we'll look more detail on that. We'll be signing students up spring and able to offer that in our district this coming summer, and the grant goes for the next 2 summers. So really excited about this new opportunity for our students. Of course, to highlight SNAP, as I mentioned, AmeriCorps have been assisting with SNAP now. It was great that we're able to write the security index grant, still get that we can have those AmeriCorps positions help some of the systems work that it's there. But also just a reminder, this is a completely volunteer-driven and funded program. Again, we are just extremely grateful for everyone that donates their time, the volunteers that do everything from gathering the food to packing the food to delivering the food, totes, picking up empty tote in the building. A lot goes to this program, and such service to so many of our students in this district, and we are so extremely grateful for the opportunity to continue to provide for students this program and those that make possible. So final thank you. As it's a community resource office, they cannot do without the community. As mentioned, we're just blessed with a number of people in our community that are willing to give their time and their donation, their money, and their time to our students. Just any questions?
I have one, Ms. Long. In regard to the volunteers and number of hours they're spending giving our schools, what are some of the most common ways that you see volunteers giving to us?
Most common ways that they come to us or that serve?
Or in the manner that they serve,
Manner that
where
they-
the hours be spent?
Yeah. Well, we have a deal that serve like parent classroom or go on field trip. There's a number of that. We have a very healthy number of regular ongoing volunteers that can sell our programs. And we have a nice group of WINEC mentors who come in and do one-on-one mentorship to students regularly. And that number has really grown. We're very pleased for over the past few years. We kept the Run Chair Read program very popular. And we've seen a new increase in our partners in control. So those 3 kind of ongoing commits that volunteers make that we've seen increase this year. So we're extremely gracious those people will give that amount of time commitment to us.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Long. Next, we have job descriptions. First read to go.
Thank you, Madam President. Following Dash, proposed job description is presented for your review as a first reading. 2.22.5, Cybersecurity Specialist. 5.02.3, Best School Bus A. Administration will request approve the regular January Board of Education meeting.
Okay, any initial question for Dr. Goth? Okay, next, I have our additional course description book update first read. Mrs. Long.
Thank you. Attached are additional recommended change in addition to the Waynesville High School description book presented for first reading. If approved, the January board meeting, these changes would become effective with the 2025-26 school year.
All right, if there are no initial questions, we'll move on to our action item. First, we have our fiscal year 24 audit approval. Mr. Harrison.
Thank you, Madam President. Tonight, I have Ms. Rebecca Bay here, KMCA's advisor. She's going to present the FY24 financial audit, and upon completion of her presentation, administration recommends motion to approve the FY24 audit.
Thank you, Ms. Harris, for that introduction. You guys should copy the audit report if you would like to follow along. And like Aaron said, I'm Rebecca Baker, KPMPA out of Springfield. We've performed 3 different audits for district this year, so I'm going to brief review each of us with you tonight. Start on page 3. Page 3 is independent auditors report. So we perform an audit to determine the district financial statements are presented fully in material respects according to the mod of cash specific accounting, and we issue an opinion based on our audit results. The district receives an unmodified clean opinion, which is the best opinion that you can get. So congratulations. We look at a lot of transactions. We don't really have time to look at every transaction. So we have a lot of invoices, a lot of receipts. We confirm renews. We confirm outstanding debt. We send confirmations to the bank. So now there are a lot of information to be able to issue that opinion on financial statement. Next, go to page 11. Page 11 is statement of receipts, disbursement, and changes in balance for the district's governmental funds. So the general fund is in the first column, and if you towards the end, you can see the general fund increased about $0.7 million for the year, leaving the general fund $20 million at your end. We just look at reserve. You had 30.6% in reserves, and what that means is you go out 3.5 months. If you did any revenue after June, you had a 3.5 months reserve. Is a really reserve to have. Historically, we always said around 8%. That's definitely up each district to determine how much you think you need on hand. A lot of districts have a little bit higher reserves now because there's a lot of uncertainty in the next few years of funding. And then the cap projects fund increased to $15.2 million at year end and ended with $6.5 million. Okay, next we'll go to page 12. That's just the next page. I want to point out note that the financial statements, they're about 10 pages long, are required. The financial statement do is our opinion note. Just give more detailed information about the district's significant accounting policies. If you want to type investments, the district on hand, notes will get that information, your debts, etc. I do encourage you to read notes in conjunction with financial statements. Next we'll go to page 38. Page 38, where the scope of expenditures of floor board begins. And this is the second audit we do. We perform a full compliance audit anytime school districts over $750,000 in federal funding have to have a single audit. Waynesville spends over $32 million, so you guys far exceed that requirement. But I want to point these 3 pages list out every single for level that the district has received and spent. During the year, that's a lot of stuff. There are people who are involved with administering these grants, like as long as explaining the American Embassy. We actually gather information for every on and have support for it and make sure that this still is complete. There's certain criteria on what we have to test in your audit. So if you'll turn to page 42, that kind of summarizes the result of our full compliance audit. At the top, we're required to print any material weaknesses, deficiencies of financial reporting from the final state audits. That's part of our compliance audit. We do not have any things to report at section. And over the federal awards program, we have to report if there are any findings, complaints, or internal control things. And we do not have any findings to report. As one you can see toward the bottom, 2 programs we tested at impaid and the Department of Defense impaid. We had tested this year. If a program that exceeds $8 million, if exceed that, it has to test at least once every 3 years. Usually your child nutrition, Title I, special education, main programs exceed amounts. Impact, we always have tests because we have tested at least 40% of federal expenditures, and we can do that with the impact program. Impact program, while there are a lot of general use that can use it, there are certain criteria when you put in the capital project fund that we have to make sure you meet compliant requirements when you're spending the funds. Okay, and then the other part of this I will work with Mr. Erson, we'll make sure that the reports submitted to the federal government, and all of the agencies that provide federal funding to district will have access to the report, can make sure they're having federal compliant audit required. Okay, the last audit that I want to go over is on page 46. And this is what we call state compliance examination. So SE releases a schedule called the Schedule Elected Tests each year, and they provide a list of things they want to verify. So this is submitting attendance information, transportation information during the year, and paying you, saving funding on information, and that's to verify the source document, make sure the information they're receiving is audited and accurate. And there's also state laws and clients we have to verify. What we're here to do is some example are your fund on hand bank. FDIC only covers $250,000. But the district is required to ensure the bank's collateral pledge or any deposit in excess of that coverage. We verify that with the banks. You have public financial information 30 days after the audit is approved. You're supposed to put that in a newspaper, but I don't believe districts and newspaper in the case. Is that right? I think there's alternative where you go push a piece of the report in publication. I think that's the whole district had to. We verify that, and we sent all of the information to the state. They would copy this audit too, and there was any corrective they would determine what that would be. But I am happy to report there are no complaints findings. Oh. Okay, that's all I have to go. Does anybody have questions? You have about 30.6%. See, I mean districts as low as 6% there. I've seen have a district, I think that's 70%. So you guys are probably the average is where everybody kind of sits over 30%. The districts, you get to 3%, DES will actually consider you financially stressed. And we've seen a lot of districts in that direction over the last few years. A lot of districts struggling. There's been a lot of extra federal funding flowing through the schools that's not going to be anymore. For the smaller districts, I think it may be something that we're going to see where they're more financially stressed, but I don't think that's impacted Waynesville.
Other questions? Thank you much.
Okay, thank you. In closing, real quick, I would like to drag on business off to everybody here. There's been a lot of turnover in the business office, lots of people coming through the account function, and the district has done a good job with, staying afloat. There's a lot of financial information through this district because of a faculty, and to make that it's recorded as right-based, it has a lot of code requirements. And everybody does a really good job. I know Jason took over right before audit started, just right before, but everybody in that office is very full and cooperative, and everyone can contact at the district are transportation, those who attend different programs. We are in touch with a lot of people. Everybody very attentive to us when we're on us getting everything needed. We appreciate that.
Very good.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so it's time. If there are no questions, I would entertain a motion to approve our fiscal year 24 audit. We'll take Mr. Andon first, Mr. Quinn first, and all favors of hand. Very good. Thank you. Next, we have our 2025-2026 school calendar. Second reading, Mrs. Bowles.
Thank you, Madam President. Administration make a motion to approve 2025-2026 school calendar as presented, please.
Do I have a motion? Thank you, Mr. Harn. Is there a second? Thank you, Ms. Keeling. In favor, show of hands. Okay, next, we have our course description update. Second read, Ms. Long.
Thank you. Administration request approved for the attached updates and additions to Waynesville School's Wilkerson course description book.
Okay, entertainment. Mr. Anderson, thank you. I have a second. Ms. Quinn, thank you. In favor, show of hands. Motion passes. Next up, we have our job description. Second read, Dr. Ofor.
Thank you, Madam President. Following attached proposed job scripts are presented for your review as second reading. 3.1.2 Practical Nurse Coordinator, 4.10.2 Principal Secretary Middle School, 4.10.1 Principal Secretary Elementary. Administration request approval as presented.
I would entertain a motion. Thank you, Mr. Anderson. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Harn. All in favor, show of hands. Motion passes. Next up, we have our SBA policy and procedure update. Second read.
Thank you, Madam President. Administration make a motion to approve MSA policies and procedure updates as presented, please.
There's a list. We've all an opportunity to go over. Have a motion approved. Mr. Keeling, thank you. Is there a second? Thank you, Mr. Putnam. All in favor, show of hands. Motion passes. We have our music renewal. Ms. Harrison.
Madam President, administration recommend motion to approve music liability insurance program renewal for 2025.
Do I have a motion? Motion. Thank you, Mr. Hart. Second. Thank you, Ms. Keeling. All in favor, show of hands. Motion passes. Under reading services approval, Mr. Harrison.
The Madam President, administration recommends a motion to approve adopt resolution engaging the underwriting services default list company incorporated and special check account service Gilmore Bell PC. The delivery of the certificates of participation series 2029 certificate financing Liberty Elementary School project.
Okay, to have a motion. Thank you, Ms. Anderson. There is a second. Thank you, Mr. Keeling. All in favor, show of hands. Motion passes. And last but not least, we have our Liberty Elementary, Mr. Harrison.
Thank you, Madam President. Administration recommends a motion to award Liberty Elementary bid package number 1 to Bloomsdale Excavating.
Okay, do I have a motion? Motion. Mr. Harn, thank you. Second. Ms. Keeling, all in favor, show of hands. Motion passed. I would now entertain a motion to enter closed session. Thank you, Mr. Nguyen. Is there a second? Mr. Anderson, we'll do a roll call vote. Mr. Lurch?
Yes.
Yes? Yes. Thank you, Mary Smith. See you. We'll see you on there.